Welcome to Off-Grid Path, and today I'm going to be giving you a very special tour of the Halvana Forest Shed, which is based in Cornwall in the UK. This cabin in particular is on the grid, but only for electricity. All other utilities are off-grid, so for water that comes from a spring, and for heating we've got the log burner just over there, and we've also got LPG, which is connected up to the shower, so a gas shower, and also that heats the water for the sink and provides the gas for the oven as well. So one of the things you'll notice straight away about the cabin is its unique quirkiness. There is so much soul that has been put into the cabin, and that is testament to the cabin's owners, Jane and Paul, who have poured their heart and soul into making this cabin, and they've incorporated lots of tiny little details which I'll show you in this video. One of them is this amazing log burner, which was actually handmade specifically for this cabin. One of the things you'll notice when you walk into the cabin is how open plan it is. And I'm really a big fan of open plan living spaces. I think it just provides a really nice homely feel. But I guess one of the awkward things about having something that's open plan is keeping that real warm feeling. And what you get with this cabin, with all of the wood that's kind of used in the cabin, is this real nice rustic feel to the cabin, which automatically generates this kind of warm feeling. So as soon as you walk into the cabin, it's welcoming, it's open, and luckily with the windows, they've chosen to put large windows in which do let a nice amount of light in, but you've got this balance of not flooding it with too much light, but having beautiful lighting to create that really nice, not too dark, but not too bright kind of cabin feel, which for me is what I'd quite like to go for in a log cabin, is that really cozy lighting, which they've just managed to get perfect. The cabin is set out in probably 5 areas inside. You've got the lounge area here, that kind of bleeds over into the kitchen area. So you've got a kitchen lounge kind of space, and also they kept the bedroom open plan. They did that for a reason, because they just wanted that kind of overall cabin feel rather than blocking everything off. And I really like that, to be honest. I think it really get a sense of size of the place without kind of separating the bedroom off. I don't think it's necessary. Also, there's a practical element from the heating point of view of having a boxed off room and that being colder, and certainly with the bedroom you want that to kind of be warm. So you've got the practical side of heating an entire space with no kind of partition walls. They've also got a mezzanine area up at the top, which is a kind of nice reading nook, you could call it. And then they've got the shower and bathroom, which is the only blocked off area of the cabin. The lounge area is not small, to say the least. We've got a lovely double couch here, and that separates the spaces quite nicely. It's really nice to use that couch as a kind of room separator, but it's not lacking space whatsoever. And I think in a lot of cabins you can get that feel, especially smaller cabins where you're trying to do too much. And what they've done here is that kind of perfect amount of everything. There's a lovely feature wall which is made out of tin cladding, and it's got a slight patina effect, which makes a really nice feature wall, because the rest of the walls used in this build are mostly clad, and I'd say that 80 or 90% of it is clad with old pallet wood. So it's hugely labour intensive to have to find pallets to begin with, break them down, denail them, sand them down a bit, and then start using them to clad the walls. And then they oiled them with just some kind of basic oil just to give them a nice finish. So the end product with those walls is incredible. I mean, it really looks amazing. It really brings the cabin to life, and it's probably one of the unique features of this cabin is just the sheer amount of pallet wood. What that does do is really reduce the cost of the cabin. Yeah, I'm not taking into account time and labor, but all of the wood is free. Essentially, it's free pallet wood. It takes a lot of time to break it down, but all of the cladding essentially is free. But it's really nice to get that contrast between the pallet wood cladding, which is sort of 80–90% of the build, and that tin wall kind of feature wall. Really nice big windows, and all of the windows are either sourced secondhand or for free. So again, saving a lot of cost on that. What I like about the bedroom is that you're closed in on 3 walls. The third wall is open, and that allows the heat in, but actually it feels really nice and cozy when you're lying in the bed. You do feel kind of closed in, and you feel that sort of safe cocoon. So, you know, even though you've got that kind of open plan with the bedroom on show, it actually works really well, I think. The kitchen's actually a really nice job. It's a very rustic kitchen. It's bespoke, it's built in situ. But you've got scaffold boards on top, and the thing I'm a big advocate for scaffold boards. It's just that kind of rusty, chunky kitchen, easy to replace, cheap to replace, And then you've just got, you know, it doesn't matter if you score the surface or anything like that. In fact, it even looks probably a bit better if it's been used and abused. A nice big Belfast sink which has been reused. I know the owners used to use this as a plant pot and they had flowers in there, so they've repurposed that for the sink in here. And they've got these beautiful taps which they've reused as well. With the cooker and stove, this is very much LPG gas, which is fed in from outside, as well as the hot water for the kitchen. That's also used by heated by LPG gas as well. So you've got a nice grill here as well. These are actually incredibly difficult to find now in terms of an LPG version with this top level to have the grill, and then hob for boiling the kettle. So everything you could really want in a kitchen. They've got all the electrical outlets, enough surface kind of prep area, fridge and freezer. Not massive, but big enough to do the job. What I do like is this sort of open shelves. I do understand why people have cupboards, but you get that really nice kind of cabin feel when you've got this open plan layout and then this rustic kitchen with everything that you can see, pots and pans. And I mean, you could have nice little curtains or something to close it off, but I do like the practicality of having you know, everything on show to see, so you know what you can use. So bathrooms, toilets, showers and things like that can be a contentious issue in a cabin, especially when you're going kind of off-grid. These guys were lucky in the fact that the plumbing was already there. They had a septic tank for the previous building that was here, which is just a very rundown shed. So they could put a flushing toilet in, which, you know, solved a lot of problems. The shower is a gas-powered shower, so it's a gas LPG shower. Which works great in terms of heat output, and as I was saying earlier, they get their water from a spring, so the water they're off grid in terms of water, toilet and shower cubicle. And this sink is just probably one of the highlights of the entire cabin for me. This was an old, worn down, weathered boulder, and I think it might be granite, but they've found this boulder and they've reused that and turned it into a sink, which is incredible. And you can see with the shower, it's a really beautiful open copper pipe, hot and cold tap. It's a no fuss shower, just brilliant. And I love that. I love walking into a shower and knowing that's hot, that's cold. Don't have to work anything out. Very simple and industrial looking shower, which aesthetically is brilliant, but from a practical side is fantastic. A real bonus for this cabin is the mezzanine level, and I know that this mezzanine was put in because they had a water tank stored up here and they decided just to extend this area out. It's obviously not that high, the ceiling does slope up, but it's just a very lovely little space. You could have another bed up here, you could have your only bed up here if you wanted like a futon low mattress kind of style, which would allow more space downstairs, or you could have an extra bed up here for other people sleeping. But it is just a really nice, very just relaxing place to be if you want to have a little reading nook, or, you know, play some games or whatever it is. It's that kind of nice separation if you are living with someone in this space. Also provides a lovely view down there. And then as we step outside, we've got this really nice lean-to, and Cornwall does receive quite a bit of rain in the year, so it's really nice to have this quite expansive space outside, just to extend that kind of living area and be able to experience outside. What they've done is just a few really nice little touches outside with the kind of old spool table. It's Christmas time at the moment, so they've just got a few nice little features that again just add to that overall kind of quirky feeling and really gives it a real personality. And then in those lovely kind of summer evenings or even winter evenings to watch the stars, you've got a lovely fire pit area here. And the cabin just looks really nice to set back into those woods. It's a lovely setting, surrounded by woodland and a nice horse kind of paddock straight in front. So, I mean, it's completely silent. It's a really rural, very quiet setting. So for a cabin, you couldn't really get much better. Certainly in the UK, it's a kind of perfect setting for a cabin. So currently no one actually lives in this property. It's let out to a site called Canopy&stars. I'll put the links for that below so you can see if you ever wanted to stay here and see more images of the cabin, because it would be a fantastic place to stay. In terms of being able to live in it full time, I can't really see any issue with that. The size is actually a really nice size. It's not too big, it's not too small, very open plan, easy to heat and maintain through the winter. Certainly with the outdoor space as well, that's fairly substantial in terms of a garden area, but then you've got that woodland as well that you can explore all around. So it feels like you're living kind of out in the sticks, but also with Cornwall, you're close to amenities as well. So, you know, gorgeous coastline. So it's a really incredible build in an incredible location. And I think with the fact, for me, one of my favorite things is just all of those personal details that the owners have poured their heart and soul into, which has really brought the cabin to life. It's an amazing property, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, please leave those in the comment section below. Like I said, you can find this property in the link in the description below. And if you do get value from this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching.